Hey Jen, I'm not sure how you were planning on doing this, but I figured since we hadn't caught up in a while, my first video would just be about some of the things that I've been up to. I was originally planning on making this video a few weeks ago when you were planning on coming down with Mom and Dad, but it kept getting delayed. Hopefully now that we've started the process, I can keep up with doing a video every 2 weeks. The good news is, since it's been a little bit longer, I have a lot more stuff to talk about and a bunch of cool stuff to show you. So, a few weeks ago, when Mom and Dad came down, we decided to do a bunch of things that we had kind of been wanting to do for a while, but never actually managed to do when you guys were here. The first thing on the list was the Chicago Botanic Gardens. The entrance to the Botanical Gardens is this awesome covered bridge that has flowers and plants hanging from the top of it. There's a bunch of huge ponds all over the place, and the gardens are divided into areas based on the type of garden. There's huge trimmed hedge-like trees and walled gardens, sprawling Japanese-style gardens, and a Japanese-style house. Oh, and there were a bunch of bees. There were these cool bee houses everywhere. After that, we went to a conveyor belt sushi restaurant. So if you're not familiar with this, it's where they have a conveyor belt that goes around the restaurant near all the tables, and they put the food on plates on the conveyor belt, and you grab what you want off of the conveyor belt. It was a whole bunch of fun. I think Mom and Dad liked it, I hope. After that, we went out to see the Air and Water Show, which is the show in Chicago where they fly a bunch of planes over the water and do a whole bunch of stuff in the water with boats and Coast Guard ships and all sorts of fun stuff. I think Dad was having a really good time identifying all the planes, and we were all enjoying watching them fly back and forth. I didn't get a shot of the best flyby because it was a surprise flyby, but it was crazy low and super loud. Our last part of the weekend, we took a trip to the Renaissance Fair, and I think Cindy was the only one who had been to one before. It was a pretty crazy experience, and I liked it a lot, so we should definitely go if you have a chance and you're anywhere near here. They had crazy acrobatics, balancing acts, sword fights, this crazy whip demonstration. Jousting, falconry,
and that's oftentimes what happens when we go out on a hunt. It's up to us to get to the bird as quickly as possible.
Really, really good food, and a bunch of cool stores. Now, since that weekend, Cindy and I have done a lot of biking and a lot of sailing. We were taking sailing lessons for about a month, and we're now pretty good at sailing smaller sailboats. We've been going out a couple of times a week to practice and have fun and enjoy sailing. We've also been trying, pressured by me, to go on longer bike trips so that we can maybe start building up to a multi-day trip. One of our best options for a multi-day trip, if we decide to do one, is headed in your direction. If we end up doing it, I'll definitely let you know so that we can maybe meet up. On this trip we were biking to and then up the Des Plaines River Trail, which is out close to O'Hare. We saw a bunch of planes flying overhead at one point and had an interesting time winding through some really bumpy roads in the city. Once we got out on the trail, we were surrounded by forests, and at points it was right alongside the river. We only ended up getting a little lost, and the trip took about 2 hours each way. Unfortunately, the GoPro ran out of batteries before we got there, so this is just up to the 1.5 hour mark. We've also biked up to places like Fort Sheridan, and along the Fox River Trail from Aurora to Elgin. We have a big, long list of places to go to and bike trails to try out, so I'll probably end up sharing some more with you in the future. I'm not sure how much time you'll have since we decided to start this right before you went to college, but it would be really cool to see what your campus looks like and to find out how things are going. I'm really excited to see your first video and to see how you are going to do these videos. I hope everything's going well, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.